For most people, a cup of coffee means the start of a new day. For country singer-songwriter Rory Feek, it has also meant the beginning of transitions in his life. Rory sat down over coffee with me to discuss his book, This Life I Live, and talk about his life, his loves, and his marriage to country singer-songwriter Joey Martin. Rory, in your book, you said all the best things happen around a cup of coffee. So here we are.
You're a good man for making this happen. You have no idea how happy I am.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, this
What's
is
the
great.
thing with coffee, really? I don't know.
What I think is my first real unselfish act was a moment having coffee in California with a guy, and it was at a little restaurant, and it occurred to me that maybe I could help my sister by giving her some money and open a little restaurant, because she had had a baby, you know, at like 13 and had a very tough life. And so that happened over a cup of coffee, and I came home and I made an effort to change my sister's life. And in turn, I changed my own and a whole bunch of others.
And then, years later, Rory and Joey got their big break when
Another guy came in the restaurant and invited us to go meet him in Nashville for coffee. And over that, he said, you guys should sing together and go try out for this TV show. And it was over a cup of coffee. I thought he was out of his mind, but it changed our lives again.
the beginning of your book, This Life I Live, you said, I'm from nowhere and everywhere.
My mom and dad divorced early on, so my mom was just trying to survive with 5 kids, and she was just moving from town to town, state to state, trying to make a living.
And as you became older, you married, divorced, but had 2 daughters, and you raised 2 daughters.
For them to spend their lives growing up with me was a gift. Even if I didn't do as well as I could have done at times, it was a gift. I knew it was a gift. And my girls and I are still really close.
Talking about gifts, when did music enter the picture?
As a boy growing up, my father sang, and mostly in the bedroom or on a couch. By about 9th grade, I taught myself how to play guitar.
The writing thing just came to you?
I was recording songs off of the radio. So I would try and figure out how to play those songs, and I put the chords over the words. And at some point, I just realized as I was breaking them apart, these are words and stories. Maybe I could have my own words.
When did God come into the picture, or was he always somehow there you weren't aware of? I mean, when did that God consciousness, Christ, etc.?
I really only remember one time when we went to a Catholic church fairly regularly. We went to catechism. But, you know, that was just, I might as well just been school, or, you know, it wasn't anything to me other than just a thing you did on Sundays. So faith didn't really show up in my life until, you know, real loneliness and heartbreak.
Right. Joey, your wife, where did you guys meet?
We met, well, she saw me sing at the Bluebird Cafe in Nashville.
And she said, boy, it's a shame all the good ones are taken.
Right.
She assumed you were married.
Yeah, because my daughters were there.
Ah.
My daughters were there, so she figured I was married. But right before that, she had this feeling that we were meant to be together.
Really?
Oh, yeah. So 2 years goes by, and she finds out that I actually hadn't been married, and I was a single father, and so she came to see me again at another songwriter's night.
You worked a lot of this out over coffee, did you?
We did, actually. We did. Actually, our first date was at a truck stop.
Man.
With coffee.
You eventually proposed to her, but even that is a dramatic moment as to where you actually went to propose to her.
We drove back to her mama's house, and we walked down the lane, and she had told me that her brother, Justin, had passed away in a car accident right down from their farmhouse, about a quarter or half a mile. And so we walked to that spot and got down on one knee, and I asked her to marry me in this spot.
Yeah, out of death came life.
Yeah,
for
out of
you
death
guys.
came life. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And so we got engaged on the spot where Justin had his accident, where the white cross is. We got married on his birthday.
It was surprising to me that she did not have any maternal instincts.
Yeah.
That she didn't want any kids.
Yeah. And so that took a while for her to figure out how to
10
become a mom.
years?
Well,
10 years?
but also becoming a mom to our older girls.
What was it finally broke that open for her?
It was honestly just that she felt like God had blessed us so greatly. All of our dreams had come true, beyond our wildest dreams. And here she was holding on to things that she didn't let him have. And she just said, I can't do that anymore. I need to give him everything and trust him.
What was the immediate response from both of you when you discovered that the baby had Down syndrome?
I just thought I was in the twilight zone, because it was a dramatic turn of events that we never foresaw. You know, her reaction was, you know, isn't she the most beautiful thing you've ever seen? That was it. Never another moment. Never another thought.
I'm in love with her.
After having baby Indy, they wanted more children. But about 2 months later, they found out that wouldn't be possible when a routine checkup revealed a cancerous mass on Joey's cervix.
First, she just had a big surgery and then removed the cancer. And by the end of that summer, we had a 6-month-old baby and Joey was cancer-free. So we thought that was the end of that.
Right.
And now life just continued on. But maybe 8 or 9 months later, it came back. And then that's when it became another really difficult surgery, then chemo and radiation and terminal.
What was harder for Joey, do you think? The fact that terminal, okay, she was going to be leaving you, but leaving Indy, how did she handle that?
I never saw her cry over the baby, over that she wasn't going to get to be with the baby.
Wow.
Never. I never. And she loved this baby. I mean, she would die for the baby. But I saw her cry immediately and a couple of times over the pain that she felt because I was going to be a single father again. That hurt her.
A couple of years before they found out that Joey had cancer, they sang a song called When I'm Gone. It's about a dying wife encouraging her husband to go on with life after she passes. They had no idea they were about to experience the same heartbreak just 2 years after Joey was first diagnosed with cancer. Do you think you'd ever marry again?
I wrote this song called Josephine, and in one of the last lines of the songs, it says, "Lastly, my darling, in case I should be killed, don't grieve me too long and promise me that you will marry another, and don't let him treat our babies mean. When he's holding you, won't you think of me too, Josephine?" Yeah. She said it to me. As soon as it comes around, she didn't blink. She said those words to me while I'm still trying to learn how to say them. If I didn't have God and my belief that there is a bigger plan, I just can't understand it, it would be the emptiest bed in the world. But instead, because of that, I don't focus on the empty pillow. I focus on the baby in the room next door and the incredible gift of it. And I can't wait for tomorrow, because I know she's going to be standing at her crib saying, "Puzzle, puzzle, puzzle." "Can we change your diaper first?" "No, puzzle. We have to do puzzle right now." That's the greatest. And I think that's a faith thing, because I might miss that. I might walk around like a zombie because I'm so heartbroken, and that's an incredible gift. So that's how faith, or one of the ways that faith shows up, and my belief in God is just as strong or stronger through what's happened, and also the belief that I don't know what tomorrow holds, but I still believe He's still giving us a great story.